Let me take just a couple minutes and give you a little bit more information about me than those little bios that one does for these sorts of things can provide. Not in terms of personal anecdotes, but a little bit of a picture of my life in the church. Just today's the 6th. 2 days ago, I celebrated the actual calendar 25th anniversary of my ordination, though we celebrated it in my parish on the liturgical anniversary, which was a couple months ago. And nearly all of that time, except for the first 4 years, I have spent as the priest in newly developing churches and missions. 3 of them. My first assignment right after I was ordained was to a parish that had been around for a long time in an old mining town in central Pennsylvania, Portage, Pennsylvania, where in the course of being priest for 4 years there, I buried 1/4 of the parish. That, by the way, I don't say as something that was a bad experience in any way. In fact, it was in some ways a grace-filled introduction to the priestly life. I have to be honest and say I would not have wanted it to continue for 25 years. But nevertheless, it was very good to begin my priestly service to the church with something old before so many years of that which is new. The other side of the ministry that God has given me over the years, which began actually before my ordination, began while I was a student at St. Vladimir's Seminary. Those of you who maybe have heard of St. Vladimir's Seminary know that it is one of the seminaries of the Orthodox Church in America. And a little bit of background about me in relationship to Orthodoxy. I come from a family on my mother's side that for at least 3 generations, and perhaps more, I don't know, but at least for the last 3 generations has had members of the family that were Eastern Catholic and Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic, all in the same family, from that fault line area that goes through Central Europe, you know. So as a result of that, not to give you all the details of it, I have spent nearly half my life and just about half of the years that I've been a priest as in the Orthodox Church that is not at present in communion with Rome. And of course, for the last 9 years and for my childhood, in the church, the Orthodox Church, as I would prefer to express it, that is in communion with Rome, because that is how I very much regard myself as an Eastern Catholic, to be an Orthodox Christian in communion with Rome. And I would suggest that those of you here that are Eastern Catholics, you might ponder whether that is a suitable description of your own identity as Eastern Catholics. There have been, well, probably since the unions that produced the Eastern Catholic churches for now 400 years, there have been 2 contrasting expressions of Eastern Catholic identity, and I don't want to present them as pigeonholes, as if every single Eastern Catholic is either one or the other. Sometimes people are both simultaneously, and sometimes not only persons, but churches have the emphasis of one or the emphasis of the other. But the two expressions of Eastern Catholic identity, I would describe them this way. The first is that which sees Eastern Catholicism as a kind of Roman Catholicism of the Byzantine Rite, or put in other, fill in the blank with some other rite too. And it focuses on the rite. We see this influence in using that word rite to describe one's ecclesial identity. I am Roman Rite. I am Byzantine Rite. I am Maronite Rite. I am Chaldean Rite. The trouble with that expression is that nobody is a rite. We don't belong to a rite. It's impossible to belong to a rite. R-I-T-E, of course, refers to primarily the expression of the liturgy, and a church uses a rite. A rite is the liturgical expression that is used by a church. One belongs to a church, not to a rite.